Hi, sorry to bother you. I'm Ethan McLeod. I'm supposed to be visiting my sister at this condo, but the lobby scanner won't release the elevator. It keeps flashing name mismatch. I was buzzed in, yet the fob kiosk still blocks me. I don't want to look like I'm tailgating.
No worries, I'm Priya at the concierge desk. If the system thinks the guest record doesn't match what's on your ID, it'll lock you out even after a buzz. What name and unit are you here for, and how was your visit registered? Email, app, or just a phone call?
She used the resident app. The unit is 1207. The record might be under E. McLeod or even my old surname. My sister still has me saved as Ethan Fraser in her contacts. My driver's license is McLeod, though.
That would do it. The system is literal. It compares the typed guest name to the scanned ID. If there's an alias, a missing hyphen, or a different last name, it flags it. Let's pull the booking. Do you have the QR code or the confirmation number?
I have a screenshot of the QR code, but no confirmation number. Also, I'm not even sure she put 1207, she recently moved from 1201, and I worry she clicked the old unit by habit.
Okay, we'll treat it as either a name mismatch or a unit mismatch. Show me the QR screenshot. If it's tied to 1201, I can't just overwrite it, but I can call the resident to reissue the invite. If it's only the name, we can edit the guest profile to match your ID. Question number 1. What is causing Ethan's access problem? Question number 2. How might the unit number be wrong? Question number 3. Which image shows what Ethan provides Priya? Thanks. I've pulled the record. It's for Unit 1201, and the guest name is Ethan Fraser. No wonder the kiosk is balking. Were it merely an initial, I could amend it, but a different surname triggers a stricter audit trail.
So I'm basically dead in the water unless she fixes it? I can call her, but her phone's often on silent. If I'm standing here long enough, I'll look suspicious, which is exactly what the system is designed to prevent.
Not dead in the water, just constrained. If you can show ID plus a message from her confirming the correct unit, I can issue a one-time elevator token to 1207. However, I can't convert a 1201 invite into a 1207 invite without resident authorization.
I do have a text from her from earlier, come up to 1207, doors unlocked. It doesn't mention my last name, but it does mention the unit. Would that satisfy your policy, or would you need her to explicitly say Ethan McLeod?
Given the mismatch, I'd prefer something unambiguous. Ideally, her replying to you now with your full name and unit. Still, the unit reference helps. If she won't answer, I can call the number on file for 1207 and document that I verified the resident verbally.
Please call. And if she does pick up, could you ask her to delete the 1201 entry and recreate it with McLeod? I'd rather not keep tripping this system every time I visit.
Question number 4. What does Priya find in the system? Question number 5. What can Priya do without resident authorization? Question number 6. What does Priya imply about the text Ethan shows? Good news. I reached your sister Alana. She confirmed you're Ethan McLeod and you're expected at 12:07. She also admitted she accidentally selected 12:01 because it was her old unit. I've documented the call and issued you a one-time elevator token.
That's a huge relief. I was starting to think I'd be stuck in the lobby all night. Is there anything else I should do so this doesn't become a recurring fiasco, especially since my license won't ever match Fraser again?
Ask her to cancel the incorrect 12:01 invite and create a fresh one under your exact legal name, spelling, capitalization, even spacing. If she insists on nicknames, the system will keep throwing friction at you. Also, have her add you as a frequent guest. Then future invites pre-fill correctly.
Got it. So, new invite for 12:07, full name, and frequent guest profile. And this token only works for today, right? I don't want to assume I can come and go like a resident.
Exactly. Single use, time limited. If you leave and come back later, you'll need another verified entry. Head to the elevator and tap your token at the reader. It should allow only the 12th floor.
Perfect. Thanks for handling it so carefully, firm, but fair. I'll go up now and get her to clean up that old record.
Question number 7. What immediate solution does Priya provide? Question number 8. What is the best way to prevent this happening again?
Okay, don't panic. If it's anywhere, it's in this aisle. You said you had it when we walked in, right? Unless you dropped it by the self-checkout, which, given how rushed we were, wouldn't exactly be shocking.
I know. I'm trying not to spiral, but my cards, my ID, everything's in there. I paid for the cold meds, then I checked the shopping list on my phone, and after that it's blank. If I'd been more careful, we wouldn't be doing a scavenger hunt beside the bandages.
Had you been more careful, we'd be having a boring Thursday. Let's retrace it properly. You grabbed cough drops, compared two brands like you were judging a talent show, then you tucked something into your coat pocket. Not the wallet, your receipt. So the wallet's either still in your bag or it slipped out when you bent down.
unless someone already picked it up. I hate how quickly my brain goes there. If it were me, I'd turn it in, but not everyone's. Me. Could you check under that bottom shelf? I'll look near the cartwheels. If it fell, it might have slid.
On it. Also, if the worst case scenario were true, we'd freeze your cards in 10 minutes. Banks make that easy now. Still, before we catastrophize, let's ask the pharmacist. Whoever finds a wallet usually hands it to staff, especially here.
You're being calm enough for both of us, which I appreciate. I'm just embarrassed. I feel like I'm wasting your time. And I've got that appointment tomorrow. If my health card's gone, it'll be a whole extra headache.
Time isn't the issue. Look, under the shelf is just dust bunnies and a rogue lip balm. But I'm noticing the cart's little mesh pocket on the handle. Did you set the wallet there while you were digging for your phone? That would be the kind of I'd never do that thing you'd absolutely do.
Wait, hold on. I did put my phone there for a second. If my wallet's in that pocket, I'll owe you coffee for a month. Unless, of course, it's not there, in which case I'll be too busy crying to buy anything.
Then let's avoid the crying option. Here, check it. And while you're at it, check the little zip compartment in your tote. Wallets love hiding like they're auditioning for a magic show.
Oh my goodness, there it is, in the cart pocket. I can't believe it. Okay, coffee is on me, no debate. And next time, if I so much as touch my wallet, I'm putting it back immediately, like as though my life depended on it.
Question number 1. Where did Jenna's wallet end up? Question number 2. What did Jenna buy earlier in the store? Question number 3. Why does Mark suggest talking to store staff? Question number 4. What can be inferred about Mark's attitude? Question number 5. What does Jenna offer after finding it?
Good afternoon. Welcome to North Shore Service Center. If you're here about an appointment, I can confirm it, update your file, or help you reschedule.
Hi, I'm Jordan Lee. I booked a warranty inspection for my e-bike, but I'm not entirely sure it's still on for Thursday.
If you can show photo ID, I'll pull up the booking. Failing that, the confirmation email's reference number works just as well.
I've got my driver's license, but I might have mistyped my email when I booked. If that's the case, would the system still find me?
It should, because we search by name and phone first, then cross-check the email. Were it truly missing, we'd add the correct address on the spot.
Perfect. Also, I may need to shift the time. My manager just moved my shift, and I can't duck out mid-afternoon anymore.
No problem, as long as you reschedule at least 24 hours ahead, otherwise there's a $25 no-show fee. Thursday at 2:30 p.m. is currently booked under your name.
24 hours is doable, but what if I get called in last minute? I'm trying not to be reckless with fees.
If a genuine emergency comes up, ask us to note it. While we can't guarantee a waiver, we often make exceptions when there's documentation. That said, the fairest approach is to move it now to a slot you can actually keep.
All right, could we switch to Friday morning? I'd rather lock something in than gamble on Thursday and end up paying for nothing.
Friday at 9:10 a.m. is open, and I can send a text reminder 2 hours before. Once you reply yes, it's confirmed. If you reply change, we'll call you back.
That works. I'll watch for the text and confirm right away, and if anything shifts again, I'll use change instead of just disappearing.
Question number 1. What is Jordan trying to do at the counter? Question number 2. Which detail is confirmed about the original appointment? Question number 3. What does Maya say is needed to locate the booking? Question number 4. What is Maya's opinion about avoiding the no-show fee? Question number 5. What can be inferred about the email error Jordan mentions? Question number 6. How does the text confirmation process work?
Good evening. A volunteer basketball coach in Kingston, Ontario, is being praised after pulling a teenager from an icy stormwater pond near a public park on Saturday. Police say the 16-year-old had been walking with friends when the ice gave way. Witnesses reported hearing shouting and saw the teen struggling several meters from shore. The coach, who was leaving a nearby community center after practice, ran to the water, told bystanders to call 911, and crawled onto the ice to distribute his weight. Using a hockey stick handed to him by a passerby, he reached the teen and dragged him to the edge, where others helped lift him onto land. Paramedics treated the youth for mild hypothermia and sent him to hospital as a precaution. He was later released. City officials say the pond is part of the drainage system and is not intended for recreation, even when it appears frozen. Temporary fencing and new warning signs are expected this week, and the city is urging parents to discuss ice safety with children. While the coach downplayed his actions, police noted that, had he hesitated, the outcome might have been far worse.
Okay, team, for the department planning day, we need to lock down the agenda flow, especially break times. If we misjudge pacing, people either drift off or rush decisions. I'm leaning toward shorter, more frequent breaks, so the strategy sections stay crisp and we can keep energy up.
I hear you, but if we slice the day into too many mini breaks, we'll lose momentum. The strategy meeting needs sustained focus, not constant resets. I'd rather do one solid mid-morning break and a longer lunch than push through with fewer interruptions.
Can we ground this in who's attending? We've got frontline supervisors, analysts, and a couple of remote folks joining on Teams. If we plan only for in-room stamina, remote participants will fade. Shorter breaks help them stretch and troubleshoot audio without derailing the whole room.
Exactly, and we're also trying to avoid that post-lunch slump. Were we to schedule a long lunch plus a long afternoon block, we'd invite side conversations and decision fatigue. I'd propose 5 minutes every hour, plus a structured 15-minute mid-morning, so we protect both attention and time.
5 minutes every hour sounds tidy on paper, but it's not realistic. People won't be back in 5, they'll grab coffee, check messages, and suddenly it's 10. Then the facilitator looks like the bad guy. Unless we enforce it hard, the schedule becomes a fiction.
That's fair, Daniel, but enforcement doesn't have to be harsh. If we build an invisible timer and assign a timekeeper, it's neutral. Also, if we offer coffee and snacks inside the room, people won't wander. The issue isn't breaks, it's break logistics.
What if we compromise, 2 micro breaks, not every hour? Say, a 10-minute break after the first strategy block, then a 15-minute break mid-afternoon. We keep a longer lunch, but we add a quick guided stretch to restart. That reduces drift yet still respects remote fatigue.
I can live with that. If the micro breaks are 10 and 15, they're long enough to be real, short enough to keep urgency. But I want the biggest decisions before lunch, while people are sharp. After lunch, we can do prioritization and next steps, not contentious debates.
I like the sequencing. Let's also add a clear Teams protocol. Cameras optional during breaks, but we'll post a running summary in chat so remote participants don't feel lost. And if we're doing a guided stretch, it doubles as a cue to reconvene without anyone policing it.
Great, so final draft, opening and goals, then the first strategy block, 10-minute break with snacks in room, then decision items before lunch. Lunch is 45 minutes, not an hour. After lunch, we do a 5-minute stretch, then prioritization, 15-minute break, and wrap with owners and deadlines.
One more nuance, we should signal that breaks aren't optional add-ons, they're part of the performance plan. If we frame them as intentional recovery, people won't treat them like permission to disappear. I'll ask facilities to set up coffee in the room and confirm the conference tech.
Perfect. I'll draft the facilitator script with the timer cues and the stretch prompt, and I'll write the Teams chat template for the live summary. Maya, if you send the agenda outline today, I'll align the remote check-ins. This feels balanced, focused, humane, and actually doable.
Good evening. Across several Canadian provinces, school boards are revisiting whether community service hours should be mandatory for high school graduation, particularly as families face new and rising education-related costs, everything from transit passes to device fees and extracurricular charges. What sounds, on its face, like a straightforward way to build citizenship has become a surprisingly contentious policy choice. Supporters of mandatory volunteering argue that the requirement levels the playing field in one important respect: it guarantees that every student, not merely the well-connected, leaves school having contributed to the community. They point to food banks, seniors' residences, and environmental cleanups that rely on dependable help. And they contend that, were the requirement removed, students under academic pressure would be the first to abandon volunteering, even though the habit of service is precisely what public education ought to cultivate. Some proponents go further, suggesting that, if civic responsibility is genuinely valued, it should be treated like literacy, non-negotiable. Critics, however, maintain that compelled service is a contradiction in terms. A student who volunteers because a diploma is at stake may perform tasks, but may not internalize any civic ethic. More practically, opponents say the policy can be regressive. Students working evenings to offset higher school costs, caring for siblings, or commuting long distances may have little discretionary time. For them, mandatory hours function less like character education and more like an additional, unfunded obligation. Notably, some community organizations also complain quietly that managing reluctant teenagers creates supervision burdens and liability concerns. A third viewpoint tries to reconcile these tensions through flexibility. Rather than abolishing the requirement, it would broaden what counts: paid work that serves the public, documented family caregiving, peer tutoring, or school-based projects with measurable community impact. Under this model, hours remain a graduation condition, but the pathway is individualized, and schools would be expected to provide placements and transit support. My own view is conditional. If volunteering is mandated, it should be designed so that no student is penalized for poverty or caretaking. Unless accommodations and accessible placements are guaranteed, the policy risks signaling that civic virtue is for those who can afford it, an implication no public school system should accept.